what is your recent role and what are the challenges you face? And you thought that at this point of time, having enough of experience, I was able to resolve certain kind of conflicts amicably. So, can you provide me such situation?
In
Do you
terms
face
of
any?
technical, in terms of the project, the team members.
So it will be to both, right? Not only technical. It is on both perspective.
Okay. Yeah, in terms of the application wise, we have faced a lot of the times is in performance of an application, like application availability and all the things we are facing an issue. In terms of like we are working as an ERP, all the users or business they are expecting the report has to become faster in terms of whatever their requirement. As part of the stored procedure, as part of the functionality which has been implemented, we have to be in a situation that to improve the some performance. We have involved in the performance optimization, and at the same time we have come up with the application wise the load balancer, as well as on the database side primary and secondary replica to configure and to configure the primary and secondary replica, and all the report it has to go to the secondary database instead of the primary database. Coming to the optimization part, we have done
Wait,
optimization.
wait, wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait. You are telling availability. Okay. What do you mean by availability?
Yeah, availability in sense of let's say application, if I hosted a one single application, multiple users are trying to access it. If something is goes down, like in terms of Azure region, Azure side as an application side, or something is goes down, all the
You tell
users.
me whether your recent, you are speaking about your recent application. Is it something you are speaking about your recent application?
Correct.
Your recent application is posted on Azure environment?
Yes, is a software as like past platform as a service. We have hosted as a IaaS server, like the like we
IAS, sir.
yeah.
IAS, sir.
In MVC, we do have MVC and core as well. We are trying to convert monolith to microservices right now. We have converted one of the part vendor invoice services as a microservices and identity server. We are trying to converting of all the things since 4.5 years, which has been working with.
So how does see monolithic means how big is your application?
Yeah, it is it is an ERP. It is having the like lot of the modules, and it is
So can you explain me whatever you have told microservice architecture and IDash whatever you have said, right?
mhm,
On the implementation part, can you
mhm.
tell me how you have implemented and how the communication happens between multiple microservices and all?
By using the RabbitMQ, we can achieve the asynchronous communication by using the poly circuit breaker. If something is goes down, we have to move the message to dead letter queue or failed queues. We are using the RabbitMQ mechanism to communicate with the two microservices. We have identity service are there, which is used to OAuth 2 and OpenID Connect. Identity server 4 we have used by using the jar token. Uh, this is the
No,
architecture.
I am okay. I have this scenario. Can you please draw me the architecture? Okay.
Mhm.
So you need to identify what are all the modules present in it, and you need to design the architecture. Okay.
Okay.
So I have my vehicle. Okay, two-wheeler vehicle.
Mhm.
So from the point I reach the service center,
Mhm.
okay, there might be different communication between different modules. Okay,
Mhm.
so could you draw an architecture design from the point vehicle given to servicing out after completing servicing, all this whatever workflow is involved in that, right?
Mhm.
So till it is delivered to me, I want you to draw an architecture for the same. What
Okay.
will be your thought processing and how you go ahead with this?
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Give me 1 minute. I need to collect of the process. Like if I give the my two wheelers to the service point, what is the internal operation they have to perform, right? It has to be communicate with. Let give me 1 minute. I need to think about the what is the internal.
No problem. Go
Yeah.
ahead. I give you no
Okay.
problem.
Internal process. vehicle service communicating to customer service and the client service, the motor service. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Let's say the two-wheeler. It's we have to be design two services. One is in terms of the vehicle service. Another one is a client service and identity server. Like in terms of we have to check an identity whether the vehicle is belongs to the particular motor vehicle agency or not. We have to be designing the three services. One is identity service, one is a client service, another one is a whatever the exact vehicle service. We have been three services as to be involved here. Whenever the vehicle service has to send a notification to the user in terms of message or it's a SMS or some kind of a customer support, it has to be send a notification to the customer. Customer has get a notification. It has to be in the next 3 days. You have to visit the particular the vehicle center, like that. Once the vehicle come to the vehicle center, they have to validate that as an authentication, whether it is a in terms of whether this has been valid for the given time or valid for this particular customer service, or what is the each type of.
No, yeah. There are so many things in between. This is nothing. I was expecting some other thing. See, I was expecting it a very high level. If you are given this design and if you design like this, where your billing goes, where your service part ordering goes, where your all this whatever needs to be done, orders and all, billing, customer service, all this I was expecting. But you simply told that registration, SMS, that is on a very top level, right? That is nothing to do with, right? Where your billing goes, what spare parts are required for your vehicle, okay? Where you will raise the customer service request, where is the registration module? I was expecting something like that. I mean, I have given a real-time scenario. Nevertheless, no problem. So, on what architectures did you work? Design architectures?
You mean to say singleton, factory, design?
I am asking on what design patterns you have worked.
Yeah, I have worked as a singleton design pattern, factory design pattern, dependency injection, repository, CQRS.
Do you know anything about state design pattern?
Yeah, state design pattern by using the Sega and orchestrator in the microservices we are using. We have used the Sega design pattern by using the correlated ID from the producers to consumer.
No, on a whole, see, anything we can implement in any pattern, okay? My point is, what kind of scenario you need to implement state design pattern?
It's a distributed communication is needed. In these cases, we are using the state design pattern.
Other design patterns we cannot use?
We can use, but like if you want to use the singleton, right, they have their own responsibility kind of thing. The basically it is maintain the state between the two distributed systems. We are using generally we can use any of the design pattern whenever it is needed, but this is one of the design pattern is mostly supported, right?
Okay. Why can't we use observable pattern also for that? Or we can use some decorator pattern also. So what is the difference?
Yeah, basically the decorated design pattern is a behavioral design pattern. If something has been implemented for the project,
no, decorator is structural. It is not behavior.
Yeah, structural only. If something is changing the structure, right? It has to be. We have to. The design pattern has divided the creational, behavioral, and structural, right? Based on the behavior, if the structure is changing on the current existing design, if we are using these design patterns, we can achieve smooth.
What do you mean by changing the structure? I didn't get.
Changing the structure in terms of if you want to add that new classes to the existing the module or existing functionality. it is a lesser implementation or the lesser changes. We don't want to bother about if it is to do the all the testing again, if you want to add the new class or new factory to that existing block.
I am talking. In that case, why we need to go decorated design pattern? We can go out with abstract factory pattern also. If you want to add any new class, you add new class and implement the interface and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the need? My question same thing. So fine, no problem. Let's go ahead. We will not stop at one place. Okay. So I am on the chat. I'm pinging you something. A program. Okay.
Okay.
You tell me the memory allocation, where it happens and how the memory handling and all happens. See, I have pinged a simple program int a equal to return a plus b. So from the point to go in executing this program, right? You need me to tell the allocation details, how it is deallocated, and I mean whatever you can put your thoughts on the memory management.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Return AB. Okay, it is a value type, and it will the memory will be allocated in a stack. And, you mean to say is this the code will work? We have to think like this.
It will work, and you need to tell me the memory allocation, how it is memory allocated, deallocated, what is the process behind that, everything, whatever you know.
Yeah, it is. The memory will be allocated in a stack because it's a value type, and memory will once the memory will be allocated in the value type will be allocated in a stack. It will deallocated by using the garbage collector in the phase one. Once it is trying to check whether do you have any references or not. It will try to deallocate it.
You are telling that entire thing will be both int and return a plus b will be allocated on the stack memory.
Into a plus b. Yes.
What about heap memory? That return function is allocated space on heap memory only, right? Function pointer. Return is a function. Okay.
Oh, return is a function. It's not a normal return statement.
Return a comma b, it is specified over there, right? Return a comma b.
Okay, then it is stored as a heap memory.
How the relation happens between the stack memory and heap memory? How the stack memory knows that this function is executed, and who does the cleaning, actual cleaning?
The garbage collector will do the cleaning. It is depends on the phase 1 and phase 2, right? It is trying to in the
what is phase 1 and phase 2? What is phase 1 and phase 2? How does say? Can you tell me when garbage collector cleans? Do we need to specify for it to clean or
no?
What is the trigger point?
A trigger point, it will do the like it will try to check that what are the unused or unreferenced objects are there. Since like the given point of time, it is trying to check it, and it will move those objects into the one of the queue in terms of to collect the data, to deallocate the memory.
So you mean to say garbage collector is running continuously monitoring?
Yeah, background, it is a background services. It is continuous. It has to run.
But do you see in that case that is a waste of time, right? You have enough amount of memory. Still, your garbage collector is seeing for that monitoring. Then what do you think?
We can also do that idisposable class, and we can also do the gc.collect method.
Yeah, that is from you. That is from user control. Yeah.
Yes.
We have control on that thing.
Yeah.
I'm speaking specifically about background process. When you say CLR is monitoring that, and if you have 100 GB of space, what is the need to monitor? Correct, na?
Good question. Yes, correct.
Keeping the service always busy. Monitoring, no need. Why we need it? If Microsoft has designed in such a way, then for no reason it is running, right?
Correct, exactly.
So do you think some other mechanism is there, or you think this is the only mechanism monitoring? That's how it gets.
No. In this case, I need to recollect, because your question is a valid. Otherwise, if we have the 2 GB RAM or 10 GB RAM, 100 GB RAM, right? If you are trying to working as a background services, then it is a performance implication of an application also. Yeah, I need to. I will check. I will check sometime, and I will.
What is the difference between multi-threading and async await programming?
Multi-threading in terms of it will work as if we create a multiple threads, it is trying to use the time slicing, context switching. It is not going to the thread. We don't have the guarantee that if we have the multi-core system, we don't have any guarantees the thread will execute on the multiple multi-cores. In the async and await, it will also create a thread. It is using the thread pool and it is trying to check what is the performance of the each core. It is trying to optimize it. It is trying to run in the whatever the cores are available with the less utilization.
So according to you, I didn't get what I'm expecting. So according to you, what is the best thing? Is it multi-threading or async and await?
Async and await is the good approach. If you want to
then async and wait, how does your async operation, I mean internally, how does it know that an operation has been completed?
Operation has to be completed. It has to be written the task, right? Whether it is a task dot complete or written the value of the particular function.
No, internally, see, whatever you write internally, there should be some mechanism to tell that this operation has been completed, right? I am asking the internal working of async and await.
Can you explain the question brief?
Do you think async and wait, okay, in a very high, async and await, async kind of operation, if I create so many async operation, do you think it will yield performance or degrade the performance?
It won't degrade the performance.
Why?
If you are using async and await, the task will run the multi-cores. If you are running with the threads, right? Threads, we don't have the concept of it is going to the working as we
but
don't.
Why the multi-threading is a different thing and async and await is a different thing, right? Why you once again are bringing those multi-threading concepts in that?
Yeah, multi-threading concept here. Why I am bringing is if we create a multiple threads, we don't have a guarantee if I have the multi-core operating system. Like I have the 60.
What guarantee? I didn't understand. What guarantee you're speaking about?
Like if I create a threads, right? If I start the thread, we don't have any guarantee. These threads will be divide and work execute on the different cores of the same mission.
So you don't have any controls on the core part, right?
We don't have any control. But in the if you are using async and await and task, we have a guarantee. It will try to execute in the multi-cores.
Why multi-threading also? You can have a callback event and you can always get the capture of a completed event. Async await also, it's the same thing. Okay, now you tell me what is TPL?
Task parallel library. It is parallel. If you want to have the parallel, like I want to run a function parallelly by the multiple. In terms of multiple arrays, like multiple items parallelly, by using the TPL, we can able to access it.
No, how does the allocation happens? How that internal working happens?
Mm-hmm.
I want when you start using TPL programming, what actually happens? How your request goes on, where it goes on, whether it will go into some queue or it will be executed concurrently, simultaneously, who allocates the process memory for that, all those things.
Okay. Oh, I don't know that internal how it will work, but if the task parallel library, if I give the whatever the array or enumerables of the given types, it is trying to create a separate task for each type, each parallel types. It is trying to execute in the different cores, and it will perform an operation, and it is trying to return the values on the need bus.
Okay. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Now there is a big monolithic application.
Okay.
Now it is 1800 projects at 2000 projects. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now your UI is a WPF application and the communication happens to WCS services. Okay. You worked on WCS services?
Yeah.
Okay. Now my thing is, you are given 1 hour of time by your project manager and says, hey, Ramu, can you identify all these services when you click on a button? Okay. You don't know internally. You cannot navigate, right? 1800 projects means where you know that when you click on this button, this is the code getting executed.
Okay.
You don't know. Obviously, you don't know. If you ask me also, I'll not be able to say. Correct. So what will be the best approach you will get into to identify all the services that are executed on a button click?
I have a 100 project. I have a one button. 1800 project. What is the requirement here?
All are interlinked because all these 1800 projects are using a single WPF application. You know, right? Internal modules will be using some other modules and also.
Oh yeah.
All these 1800 modules are related somehow in a single product. Okay. Now, when I open the product and I say, tax return, right? I'll click on new file return. Okay. So now, background, so many services will be called for populating all those drop downs, whatever form. Okay. So how you will identify without knowing anything, and you on your first day, you need to identify all the services that are called on your new return button click. So what will be your approach?
Whether it is in a web app?
It's a WPF application. I think whether it is web app also.
Okay. In the web app we have an option of getting that the fiddler. By using the fiddler, we can able to track that what are the services are using to fill the data. Based on that fiddler, I will get that URL. I will try to navigate the controller action method level.
There are no controller action method. Okay. Now WCF service and web services, right?
Yeah.
So what is the basic difference between WCF service and web service?
Yeah, basic difference is web services support only the HTTP. WCF services using it will support multiple protocols. TCP.
If I want to inspect my WCF service, what message it is carrying on, can I do that? Can I accomplish that?
Sorry. Can you repeat the question again?
I want to see a message. Okay. What our WCF is sending on to the server.
Okay.
Can I intercept and see?
WCF?
Yes.
WCF. No, not possible. It depends on the transport level or which level.
So you don't think that WCF inspector will be able to track those things? Did you do such kind of things?
No, I did not.
I have an HTML application. I have a a pure HTML5 application, and I have a web API. Okay.
Okay.
So I was asked to implement authentication for that. So what will be your approach? How you will implement authentication and all for that?
Yeah, we have to authenticate to the server, and we need to get that a jar token. Usually, the jar token will use for communicating with the authorization. I will save those jar token in terms of session storage or web storage.
But I can view your session storage and web storage, right? That is not an optimal solution. I can always go and whatever session of user ID you stored in that token, I can view every time. So how you are going to secure? One more thing is you have created a token. The token is stored on the client machine. Okay. And now, how you obviously when you sign out, the token clearance where you do. If you did on the client side, then that actually it is persisting in the server. Server expired, didn't happen till the token is available on the server. So what do you think the best practice to handle such kind of scenario?
In this case, we can go with the Azure AD authentication.
I don't want to bring any other technology into between. I'm asking only current scenario how you are going to handle.
In the jar token, even though if you introspect, if you want to change the payload, it will try to identify in the server side, right? It is a valid token or invalid token. But coming to that, while closing an
I
application,
don't I don't want to intercept anything.
uh-huh.
I see using the jar token, you have retrieved certain comma box values. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll intercept. I'll use the same token, and I'll also be able to identify.
Okay,
I
okay, I
now
got
now
it. Mm-hmm.
now how you will say, because I will come to your system and see that session of, if I put your user ID, I'll get those user ID, and I'll construct a interceptor. I mean, I will use post method, put your jar token, and I'll submit. So
Okay.
in your post method, you will get the details. I don't want that details. I want to know which are authorized requests and which are unauthorized requests. So how, that is what I'm coming from. How you do that?
Is it tricky?
So okay, no problem. So what do you mean by technical depth?
Yeah, a technical depth in terms of we in our project we are also called as a tech depth. If there is in the current project, if we are facing some of the problems in terms of performance, in terms of getting the logs, in terms of making some more improvements of the current application, they are trying to create a tech debt on the current what are the problem statement for the current the flow. We are trying to optimize the flow which using the different ways and make them to provide
What are the
some sort of solution to the clients.
what are the different ways you have used?
Let's say the user needs in terms of last 3 years data, 3 years data in terms of a report to the all the DL list. They are trying to generate a report and it is taking of 30 minutes and 40 minutes. Instead of doing that one, we can create a one job, and job will run every day night as a quad job. It is trying to process it at the time if it is less hours, less business hours, the job will run and try to perform an operation. It will try to send the notification. The same
Now,
thing. Mhm.
okay, but how you are going to identify that from this point? I don't want any technical depths to be appearing. What are
Uh-huh.
the points or consideration you will take so that to reduce the technical depth?
Yeah. The points you are saying this is in a technical depth, right? But in terms of the single tenant application, like multi-tenant application, multiple users are trying to access an operation, it is getting the performance degradation. If you want to optimize the performance for a particular application, why can't we this will be converting as a tech debt in terms of the application maintenance in terms of.
No, I'm asking now. You know the technical depth, and now you're.
Mhm. Hello.
So what I'm asking is, now that you have implemented, verified all the technical depths, and now you want to make sure technical gap, I mean technical depth from now onwards should not creep in.
Mhm.
What are the, care you will take so that no technical depth creep in?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it has to be in terms of it has to be discussed by the architecture team before implemented. What is the problems might face in future if you want to implement it? What are the we have to think about the next 5 years if the same functionality has to be work to satisfy the customer.
Leave technical architect. According to you, what will do?
Okay. Uh, Technical architect, what we have to do is we have to use that latest technologies to solve the problem statement. Let's in terms of
You tell me one thing. Now you are telling latest technology. Okay.
mhm.
So on what basis you choose the technology?
Okay, let's say one of the example.
For example, I'm telling you,
Mhm.
I'm giving you a scenario. There is a web application,
Okay.
and also
Mhm.
there is a HTML application, and I need to have certain form which will it will input some data, and there is also
Mhm.
an admin module. Okay, so given this scenario, what architecture you will check, which technology you will choose, and on what basis you choose the technology? What are the factors that affect technology?
Okay. So completely, we need to consider about whether it is a client side or server side. So
I
as
already told you. Never client side. Okay. Always when I put something, it is kind of client and server side.
Okay.
So you have so many technologies. Okay. I can choose whatever web or WPF I can choose, or a Silverlight I can choose, or I can use HTML5, Angular, React, Vue, whatnot. On what criteria you choose those technologies? You are given a project here. As I told, there are few forms which means the submission details, and those should be approved. Then only it gets published. Okay, this is the problem statement. Okay, which technology you are going to choose in this scenario, and why you have chosen that technology? What factors?
Okay. Okay. Here, for the forms, I will go with the Angular, and I will create a forms. I will display the forms in terms of the grid.
No. Why not? Why you want to go Angular? I'll go pure HTML5 forms. I don't want to go to Angular. I want to go to HTML5.
Okay, yeah, if you want to go with that Angular or HTML5.
No, I'm asking justification. When you say Angular, why you choose Angular? Angular, which version you will go ahead?
Angular 6.0.
Why? There are so many latest versions, right? Why you want to go with the 6.0 only?
Because the team was already built on the 6.0. They don't want to
That is
upgrade.
bad.
Yeah.
That is bad, right? 6, when there are latest versions in the market, you are telling 6. Today you are using 6. Within few days it will be 15, 16. Then you are at a downgrade side and you will need lot of effort and resource once again to migrate that thing, right?
It depends on the it depends on the client, right? I am not a product owner to decide it. We are giving the suggestion to them to upgrade.
You are a team lead to choose the technology. It is not an existing product. I told that it is a fair one, new one. You need to choose the technology. So why did you choose 6 only?
No, in my project we are using 6. That's what I am saying. We can also use the 12 also in for the current problem statement. Whatever.
So you mean to say whatever new technologies that you will choose?
I will choose an Angular.
In Angular, whether you go ahead with the latest release?
No, I won't go with the latest release. In terms of it has to be some form of stabilization has to be there, right? If you are implementing some sort of an application, if you are facing some kind of an issue, still they did not implement it kind of thing, it is going to be, we have to analyze it first before using that the latest version, Muni.
So you are telling you will refer to the stabilization part.
Yeah, stabilization part is mandatory as an ERP. At the end of the client will ask, right, the questions.
It doesn't matter you are in ERP or any other domain. Stabilization is important at any point of any domain.
Yeah.
So what kind of what do you mean by memory profiling and CPU profiling? Did you use any specific tools?
We have
finding memory leakage and for CPU leakages.
We have used the .NET the framework memory utilizer. It will give the default the health checks, right? What is how much the memory is taking for a particular operation while performing. We are using that one, but we have not used any of external tools.
So you are saying that what is the frequency of users connecting to your application? In 1 minute, how many users simultaneously your ERP solution will be able to capably handle successfully?
Yeah. In terms of we haven't checked that users how many the per second. Maybe I'm thinking 500.
Okay. So did you use any kind of testing design patterns?
Mark and NUnit.
So what is the basic difference between TTD and BDD and integration testers? Okay. So which you prefer, whether it is TTD or BDD?
Yeah, BDD is the better option in the agile terminology.
What is BDD? When you say BDD, please explain the overall. What is TTD and what is BDD, and the differentiating point. Put to the pointer.
Yeah, coming to the TTD is a test-driven development. In terms of we have written the test cases. From the test cases, the original functionality has to be implemented. In terms of I have created one test.
Do you think from the test cases you are telling, what is the input for that? When you say I'm using test cases and I am doing the development, what do you mean by that? Where you will, so for example, to accomplish a certain functionality, I need to execute, I need to have certain functions in place, okay? So in order to write to TTD, you need all those inputs, right? Where do you get that inputs from?
The inputs is coming from the as per the requirement only we will get that inputs, right?
How you are executing TTD test cases? How different it is from normal test cases, normal unit test cases and TTD?
Yeah, TTD I haven't used. I know that theoretical concept.
Then what is BDD?
It has to be come from each one. It has to come from the requirement as a business domain driven. The business will give the requirement and we will implement it and we will test it based on the what is the input value.
Then what is the difference between TTD and BDD?
The TTD in the TTD we haven't have that concept of the code was implemented and tested. Based on the TTD, we are implementing the code of whatever the cases which are failing. We are trying to fixing there. But here the code was implemented. We are trying to test that code is working as expected or not in the BDD.
You are telling that in the BDD code is implemented. We are not doing anything in the BDD.
Code was implemented. We are using the from testing framework to validate it, Munir.
Who does that code? In the BDD you are saying code
the developer like in the both cases the developer says the responsibility for the test cases, Munir.
Okay. And now what is the difference? In the TTD you are saying that we develop test cases and we build
application. Yeah.
In the BDD you are saying it is already built and we are doing
no it's not I am not saying it is an already built. We have to build and we have to test that whatever the functionality we build it based on the requirement.
My question is then what is the normal flow? We will develop our code and we will do unit test. That is same as BDD, right?
Yeah.
Then what is the difference?
Yeah, I haven't used the TTD. That is the reason I was not able to give an answer.
Okay, no problem at all. I am absolutely fine. So, how you are going to ensure the sessions on a servers which are behind load balancer?
Yeah, sessions we haven't used in this case. We have to go with that HTTP context. We will save into the whatever the values in the HTTP.
That you would never use. That's fine. Okay, I have a load balancer behind load balancer. I have 5 or 6 servers. Okay. First it went to the server 1. There the session is there. Okay. Now load balancer depends upon load, right? Now the server 1 is busy. Now you have session of server 1 and now you are going to move to session server 2. So there is an inconsistency, right? Because session is created from the server 1 but now it is going to server 2. So how we can handle this? In server 2 you will go with that session and say, hey, I am an authentication session, retrieve my information. But your server 2 will tell you are not authorized. So how you are going to handle this scenario?
Yeah, we can go with the we can save the session in the SQL server like inproc, outproc, and SQL server, right? The session management, the session types. We'll save into the.
I assume there is no session set on the SQL server because that is a very costly thing, right? You have 100 servers and you want to store that sessions in the SQL server. How do you think will it work? Fetching session information only half of the time will go away.
That is also correct.
Fine, no problem. So you worked on load balancer. You know what is load balancer?
Yes, load balancer. Yeah, I know.
So when you say load balancer, when a request comes from internet, okay, when a request comes from internet, so how it is finding out the appropriate server? I mean, do you think that we will expose the server endpoint so that to get executed, or how do you think? Why
Yes.
load balancer?
Yeah, load balancer is an internet-facing IP addresses. It will have that internal algorithm. It will try to check that algorithm which server is configured, like what is the inbound and outbound. Like in terms of the request coming, it has to be configured of all the machines for the particular load balancer. It will use that algorithm to route it, and we have that different configuration. Once the request is coming for the one of the server, the second request also, like persistent or non-persistent kind of thing also, you can able to configure in the load balancer.
Suppose there are 200 applications, okay? When I run that on my product, it hits so many services, okay? So some are Windows services, some are posted in IAS. How you know? You know the process of debugging, right?
Yes.
How you can identify that is posted from a Windows service or it is posted from an IAS?
We have used the loggings, and we'll save the loggings into the Azure stable storage to identify what is the source, and we can also use the.
You don't have anything in this scenario. You don't have anything.
Okay.
You don't have anything. You need to identify.
By using the in the Windows, we have the logs, right? In the Windows application, you can application logs. We'll get it, and we'll.
From logs, how you know? See, my Windows service also is hosted in IAS, but they are hosted using Windows service. Okay. You mean what I mean to say? There is it is there deployed on the IAS only, but they are hosted using Windows service. Okay. So how you will identify? And now, okay, if you are not able to answer this scenario, I'll give you another scenario. So I told there are 200 processes, okay? And I want to attach to a particular process. How you will attach to that particular process? How you will identify?
Particular process is running or not?
Simple. I have process 1, process 2, process 3, process 4, all pools created. Okay. 100 P100 pools. Okay. Now, when I debug, all your each process creates a worker process, right?
Correct.
You will not know. I need to attach my process to P99. Okay. How you can identify that you need to attach to only P99, not rest of P1 to P100?
At the time of debugging, right? You are saying.
Yeah. Yes.
Can we go with the naming?
How? No. Naming how? When you open your task manager, all that worker process will be created as w3p.exe, right?
W3p,
where
yes.
Name will be there. Yeah. Where you will get that name?
Based on that, we will get the process ID in the Visual Studio. We will be able to see what is the process ID.
In the Visual Studio, you will be able to see the
local IAS. If we are using local IAS, we can get that process ID, but we need to get the process ID. Then only we can able to attach it.
Okay. So how you will debug a monolithic application here? Because right away, for example, I have an exe. Okay, that exe, right? Monolithic. When I say monolithic, there is an exe application which uses some DLLs. Okay, that DLLs comes from a solution. Okay, that solution points to some services. Okay. Now I want to make some changes in the WCF services and debug. I don't want to build exe once again. So what will be your approach for debugging that?
Debugging of existing DLL or exe.
Correct.
Is that a DLL or EXE? Do you have the logarithm implemented? No, right?
It is an EXE. EXE internally uses DLLs. Okay. When you say fiddler, what is fiddler? Fiddler is an EXE, right?
Yes.
It internally has all those DLLs, right?
Correct.
The same way. Now I want to debug a fiddler. But I have the source code for the DLL.
Okay. I will use the reflection to get that assembly and try to get that what are the methods or the classes are there to work on it.
I already told I have the source code. Why
source code is already there. Okay.
I want to just debug.
Okay.
I'll give you a code example. Meanwhile, you answer this question. I'll give you a code example. You write the algorithm for that. You think of the solution, whatever I have asked you.
Okay.
Did you get any answer?
In the Fiddler, the code was implemented in .NET. Yeah, DLL is default is .NET.
Right? I gave an example as Fiddler.
One of the exe file you gave and the source code is there. We have to check we have to debug whether the application is running or not, right? That is your question.
Correct. No, brother, don't waste time on that. I have pinged you a string, okay? You saw the string?
Yes.
This is a valid one because every open has a close end, okay? So this is valid.
Okay.
Every open bracket or every parenthesis and all. Now I'm pinging you another string. Do you think this is valid?
This is not valid. It is it is close. It is the parenthesis. The close brace is missing.
So now you write me. I'll give you such kind of strings from this string. Write me an algorithm to verify this.
Okay. Whether the given input string is valid string or not, right?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, the string. Open brace. It has to be there. Open brace and close brace correctly. This is the frequency. Let me check once the frequency.
What is the basic difference between cross join and union?
Cross join and union. Union will get the result, unique result. Cross join it will get that all the matched result for the given condition.
Assume that there are no any duplicates and all. Then what is the difference?
It is exactly the union is the concept of combination of getting the two result set, but a cross join also getting the result. Okay, assume we don't have any duplicate. That is okay. I think both are the two different concepts. Yeah.
Did you work on Azure service buses?
Yeah.
Can we store a session on the Azure service bus?
Yes.
Session management can be done on the Azure service bus?
Yes, we can.
So how you have implemented?
No, I know the concept of Azure service bus topic and client, and we done one POC. I have seen that we can also use the sessions in Azure service, but I did not get a improvement on the sessions in Azure service bus.
What concepts you have worked? Did you work on pipelines?
Yes,
How you
CI/CD.
have deployed your code? How you have deployed your code?
Yeah, we have CI/CD pipeline is there. In the MVC application, it will we will use the CI/CD. We'll use
Did
them.
you use YAML? Did you use YAML for your deployment?
Yeah, in YAML we have used the microservices, but the other things like the MVC application.
Can you tell me what are the primary steps in an YAML file?
YAML file. What is exactly the question? Can you elaborate the question? We have to follow the some syntactical structures in YAML. Otherwise,
what
the YAML
is that? That is what I'm asking. What does YAML file indicates? You already have CI/CD, right?
Yeah.
You can build a release pipeline, and you can do whatever CI integration separate and release pipeline separate. So why YAML file has come when already it is two things are available? What is the need for YAML file?
Combination of if I want to combine the two services or two different the parts into single one, we can like I have an image. I have the current the .NET the module image. I want to combine those things, and the YAML compose file will compose it, and it will try to execute on the pipeline.
No. You tell me one thing. How your deployment is doing right now? You are using Azure right now?
We have used the Azure platform as a service as well as Azure web apps.
That is what platform as service you have used. Okay. How many? What is your server configuration? I mean to say, your application is deployed on how many app services or whatever you are telling, right? Platform as a service. So how many instances are there?
2 instances.
Only 2.
Yeah.
Then there is no need for you to go towards app service only, right? You can directly use a server and 2 servers and a load balancer, right? What is the need? Whether it will be scaled up or scaled down?
Yeah, that is the monolith application. The problem presently, the monolith application is hosted on each region. Each region wise, we have hosted on the primary and secondary, and it will configure as load balancer.
So how this deployment happens in your through pipelines?
Yeah, through pipelines only. MS build, and we have a build team is separate. Build team is there.
So you are not aware of the YAML configurations and all.
In microservices, I was aware, like creating the service file, service YAML, and ingress YAML, as well as the deployment YAML. And we have used the Helm chart also. Instead of creating manual, Helm chart will give that whatever the default values, and we can change that value and we can use it. In the microservice concept, I know the CI/CD, but MVC application currently, which is supporting that all the clients, they are using that MVC application. We have the separate team is there. They will configure it and they will use it. They will give the build. We don't have an access to prod server as well as prod database as well.
So see, I mean, what do you know about indexes? So, do we really need indexes or without indexes also?
We need real indexes. Otherwise,
why?
Why in the sense, if you create a primary key or identity,
don't talk about the primary key, foreign key,
okay.
Okay. So I have search on various conditions and all. Okay. If you create, right, what is the disadvantage of creating too many indexes?
It will degrade the performance while we are inserting the data.
Then you are telling that the indexes are needed.
Yeah, indexes are needed in the sense, the as part of the user, they don't want to bother about how much time it is taking an insertion. Everyone needs of the reports and whatever while they are performing an operation, while the data has to show the grid, the data has to be downloaded, right? We have to give a equal importance.
But in that case, I don't agree. Okay, you are saying that they are not worried about indexes. Obviously, it is a database, right? And when you say so many millions of operations are performing on the database, and you say they are not worried on the indexes, means obviously your select query performance will go down because of locking and all, right? So how you will handle this scenario? I don't agree.
No, as part of right? As a real time example, which we have done, right? We have done so many indexes, but we are also checking on how the data getting inserting. But if you are using the indexes, the data has to be saved in the some format of the sorting and all the things. If you are using the indexes, we will get the binary tree to get the data. That's what my question.
Binary tree. From where you will get this binary tree?
Like if you use the cluster index, internally it will use the binary tree structure. The data will be saved in terms of the keys. If you are using the where condition of the particular column, it will try to check if you have the any indexes are there or not. It will try to optimize it. Instead of going the table scan, it will go the index scan. It will try to get where the exactly the matching records are available.
So then you are saying in the index cluster index, you are saying key it will follow index scan. In non-cluster index, what it will do?
It will do the VLOOKUP.
What is no? What is the difference then? Here and in cluster index and non-cluster index.
Non-cluster index, it will not save the data in terms of the sorted manner. It is trying to do that each row by row and try to verify that operation.
No. The main difference is in cluster index, the leaf level node you will have the actual value. In the non-cluster index, the leaf level will have the address available. That is the only difference.
Correct. Yeah.
So you are telling something else to me, okay? Fine, no problem, no issue. And what is the difference between convert and cache?
In the SQL Server, convert and cache, right? Both are used to converting the value to convert the one type to another type. And one of like cached, we have to cached as convert.
Okay, a few questions I have. I'll ask and I'll close it. It is time. What is the difference between gRPC call and REST service call? What is the difference between gRPC and REST service? Are you aware?
No, gRPC I don't aware. REST I.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. No, that's fine. Do you know what is observability?
No.
Ever instrument any application, instrumentation of any application for alerting?
Yeah, we have used that. If there's something goes down on application side, we are sending an email notification to the business user, and we have Azure infrastructure team. They are trying to check that what is the memory utilization, CPU utilization. They will send out a notification to the user. Give me one minute. I'm getting my company call. Sorry, Simar. I got a call from my company.
No problem. So, you are how many years of experience?
9.8 years.
9.8 years. So, in KPMD, you know Nagarjuna.
Yeah, Nagarjuna sir, I know.
Khan, everybody.
Khan sir,
right?
I know. Yeah, Khan sir, I know.
Yeah. No problem. Okay, fine. No issues. We'll let you know.
Sure.
Do you have any specific questions to me?
No, I need to jump to other call. Sorry.
So why you came out of the KPMD? What is the reason?
The KPMD, I have worked as 2 years as a bond, and after that, there is one of the project was taken care by the another one, right? Like Medicity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like I will get a less opportunity, and I want to career growth as well. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Samir. Bye.